Homesteading is a lifestyle choice. Whether you have a large or small space, you can move towards self-sufficiency. Start with what you need and add more as you can. Start small and grow in confidence. Start with the basics and increase your knowledge. At Bryant's Roost, we believe in sustainability, education, and forward momentum. Follow us on our journey for tips, hacks, and insights. We can grow together.
These brooders are amazing. I couldn't be happier with this company.
We absolutely love these cages.
One at a time, okay, guys? Hey, good morning, guys. Glad everyone could join us. I know it's probably a little bit confusing. Why on earth am I going live at 8:30 in the morning versus 9 o'clock when we normally go live? I am still in that mode of getting work done around the house here, so I got to kind of make a little bit of rearrangements on my scheduling. But I want to welcome everyone to the show. Glad you could join us. Big shout out to our sponsors, HP Murray over at Gopher Ridge Quail. Check these guys out, guys. These are sponsors that do a lot for the channel. They help us every week by doing giveaways and whatnot, and all of them are great breeders. They've got some of the best bloodlines in the U.S. So anyhow, we got HP Murray over at Gopher Ridge Quail. We got Rebecca Lynch at Thieving Otter Farm. We have Jennifer Bryant over at Bryant's Roost, and then of course Hatching Time for all your poultry supplies, cages, feeders, waters, whatnot. They've got pretty much everything over there. I do want to apologize, guys, for being absent for probably the past month or so. I've got a lot of stuff going on here at the house, making some major home improvements, some repairs, getting ready for the peak of hurricane season. So I've got to weekends are my only days that I can get any work done here on the house. So I've got to kind of pick and choose, what's more important. And obviously, to me, the home repairs take precedence over doing live streams. So, and I've had a few people reach out to me and complain that, they were waiting up for a live stream and, missed other obligations that they had for the live streams. Guys, don't plan your day around me. If you're around for the live stream, fine. If you're not, there's always the replays. You can catch it after that. But yeah, like I say, right now I'm just in that mode of getting things fixed up around here. I still have some roof repairs that are coming up next, so that's going to be my next big project. We went through and we put all new windows in the house, and you talk about a pain. We had the old awning type windows, and not any of the cranks worked on the awning type windows, so I had to get them out of here, get them replaced, and they were only single pane windows, so the heat just would come through the glass. You could stand a foot away from the glass and feel the heat radiating off of them. So now I've got double pane argon glass, impact glass windows in, and we're really loving it. But it's been a pain because it's an old stucco house. Not old, but it's a stucco house. And I think what they did was when they built the house, they put the windows in, the old awning type windows, and then they came back and stuccoed the house after that. Well, they basically stuccoed the windows into the house. So I had to go through and I had to bust out a bunch of stucco to get the windows out. And then once I got the new ones in, I had to go back and replace all that old stucco. It was quite a bit of work, but we got it done. And it's been hot here, guys. I mean, it's been like, average heat index is averaging between 105 and 111 degrees. So, you got to get the work done early in the morning or late in the afternoon. That's the only time you can really do it. Let's see. Another thing I had is kind of disturbing to me. Yeah, I realize, that I haven't been around for the live streams, but I've had 3 people in the past month contact me wanting to take over the live streams. And I don't know if it's if they were doing it out of kindness, wanting to, keep the channel going and whatnot. But I'm not going nowhere, guys. So, and I don't want to give the channel up and, have somebody else take over. I kind of got a feeling that they're more concerned with the numbers that Coturnix Corner has. I don't know. But anyhow, that was kind of disturbing. Sounds like I'm doing nothing but complaining this morning. I guess I better get off that complain train and talk about something else. Okay, we are going to announce today the winner of the Coturnix Kids Project for the month of July. And that is going to Tiffany Peacock. And I was going to, well, maybe I still can. Let me get it on this other computer here. I am not sure on the actual names because it sounds like there's two kids involved, and I don't know if the mother's name was Tiffany or one of the kids. But anyhow, it's going to the kids. Or I'm sorry. I said Tiffany. It's Brittany. Sorry about that, Brittany. Let me go ahead and read the write-up real quick. It says, "Hi, we are two sisters who love horseback riding and all animals. The big sister am entering for both of us since my little sis can't type yet. We have chickens, and I'm learning to cook with eggs. I love making breakfast for my family with my mom's help. I ate avocado toast with quail eggs on it. It was yummy, so I would love to learn to make it for my family. It is yummy because I love quail eggs on toast. I have a bunny and chickens, but I want to learn about quail. I want to share eggs with my neighbors as well as learn to hatch. We grow a lot of our food in our garden and share with our neighbors. My mom is a science teacher and would love for me to share information about quail and hatching to her students." Oh, that's cool. "I would like to help my little sister learn to care for animals through quail. Finally, I'm saving up for my first horse and would love to sell eggs towards the goal of earning a pony for myself and my little sister to share. I hand make beaded pens and sell them. For this goal, I would like to do the eggs too. I think I would learn a lot." And then she posted a little picture of her quail pen. So I'm going to take it that Brittany has written this up. If not, I'm sorry, but congratulations to both of you guys. You're going to win some really neat prizes. Actually, some of them have already been shipped, but let me see if I can't bring it up real quick. You're going to get a bag of feed from Homestead Harvest. You're going to get a hatching time 2-unit cage with the rollout trays on it. You're going to get an incubator from Bryant's Roost. You're going to get some hatching eggs from Thieving Otter Farm. Sunny Place Homestead donates some feeders, waters, quail egg scissors, and then you're going to get a Coturnix Kids tumbler, which is actually already made up. I got behind on doing tumblers, so the other day I actually went through and made up a few of them. That way it won't Fat Country, get it all out, Terry. Yeah, we don't want to be complaining. I hate complainers, and then here I am doing it myself. So, yeah, congratulations to Brittany. Really appreciate the write-up, and I hope you and your sister have a lot of luck in growing your quail farm and whatnot. So, I think that's about it out of me. We can go ahead and jump over into the chat room. Like I say, guys, this is probably going to be a short one this morning because nobody's really expecting us to be live, and I don't see a whole lot of people in here anyhow. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right over into the chat room, and we'll see who's in here and see what they have to say. Homestead Matters says, "Happy Sunday to everyone from Eugene, Oregon. Hope everyone's outside. Birds are handling the heat. Extra fan and water checks have been tiring, but better than losing birds." Absolutely. It is hot outside. Even my bees, I cannot believe it. All my hives are bearding real heavily just because of the heat. So, yeah, keep the birds. Well, my chickens are outdoors. It's funny. I opened up the coop to let them out, and they don't even come out. It's so hot they'd rather stay inside the coop in the shade because there's not a whole lot of shade in my backyard during the heat of the day. So, Comical Homesteads in the house is Coffee with Coturnix Corner. Glad you could join us. Mark's in the house is good morning. Good to have you back. Hope all your projects are doing good. That's actually are. And, it's nice to be back. I feel every Sunday when I'm out working, I feel guilty that I'm not doing the live stream. But like I say, I've got to get this stuff done. Uh, the peak of hurricane season is going to be here in September. So I got to get it all fixed up so the next storm can tear it all apart again. Obsidian 18's in the house says good morning. Good morning. Seth says good morning, Terry. Glad you could join us, Seth. There was I was going to say something about the heat, and I lost my mind clicking on another one of these links here. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. Fat Country says good morning and happy you made it this Sunday morning. Yeah, like I said, projects do get in the way, and I have talked to a few people. I've actually got a couple interviews lined up. I'm going to try using it's a free service, and I didn't know, I was researching it the other day. This service, it's called StreamYard. They actually have a free plan that you can do interviews and have guests come on. So I was actually going to test it out today, but I didn't get my account fully set up. So probably next week I'll come on and try to test out that StreamYard, because my account for the streaming software that I'm using now expires, I believe, the 19th of this month. So I've got to try out that new streaming software and make sure it works out okay. Let's see. David DeBarge is in the house. West Plains, Missouri here. Glad you could join us. I imagine we might have a few more people checking in here in about 15 minutes because that's our normal live time. So, yeah, it's a real quiet morning here. Dragon Girl's in the house says good morning, everyone. Morning, Dragon Girl. Glad you could join us. What are some of you guys doing that are keeping your quail either outdoors or, in a building to, help out with the heat? To give, post it in the chat room to give other people, some ideas on what they can do to help keep their birds cool. A lot of stuff that we used to do back when I had birds outside, I'd fill up like 2-liter soda bottles, fill them up with water and freeze them, and stick that in the cage, and they kind of huddle around it, and get cooled down a little bit. But and actually, the quail can handle the heat as long as they've got fresh water and a little bit of air movement. They're pretty good at handling heat and cold. But I know everybody wants to keep their birds comfortable. So, Fat Country says, "Get it out, Terry." Yep. No, I'm done complaining. But like I said, it's funny. I mean, especially the complaints about me not going live. I guess some people don't realize that, I do have a life outside of Coturnix Corner, and there's some things, that need to be done. Some things take precedence over doing a live stream. So, let's see. Homestead Matters says, talking to Obsidian 18, awesome to see fellow Oregonians, whatever. So hard to find folks around here. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Maury Straubel's in the house says, good morning, everyone. Morning, Maury. Glad you could make it. Fat Country says, Terry, have you ever raised Cornish cross or meat birds? I have not. The only chickens I've ever kept were barred rocks. I had some New Hampshire Reds years ago. I had Silkies briefly for a while, and then I got into the quail. But no, I've never done any of the cross, the Cornish cross or specific meat birds. My Maury Straubel, my brother-in-law, he just raised up a pen full of some kind of meat birds, and already gone through and butchered them up. But let's see. David says my first lockdown begins on Monday, and then we start our journey. Cool. Congratulations. Hope you get a good hatch. I tell you what, I'm getting the itch to start hatching out birds again. Kind of not really a good time for me yeah, I mean, even once I get all my work done and some cages built, it's if I hatch out a bunch of birds, then I've got to get on these other projects that I've been kind of slacking on, because the birds can't stay in the house; they've got to go back outside. So let's see. Dragon Girl says, "Power just went out here. Hooked the brooder up to my solar generator to keep the hatchlings safe. Hope you get your power back soon." David's in the house. Says, "Good morning. Glad to see you again." Yeah, David, we're glad to be back again. Like I say, I felt a little guilty not going live, and I actually did a bunch of work yesterday, which gave me some time this morning to actually go live. I do have to go out and do some bee inspections. I don't know. Usually by 9 o'clock, if I'm not out there by 9, it's starting to get too hot to even mess with the bees. So we'll see. Homesteads Matters says, question, does anyone else have a heck of a time trying to identify the colors in Thieving Otter Farm's Oz collection? I've watched the genetics videos over and over, but I can't get it straight. Yeah, they are tricky. I mean, the Oz Snowy collection, came in from Australia. The one person I would reach out to is Tamara Roselle. She's in all the groups. Send her pictures. She's very good at identifying what you've got, and she'll let you know. She's had the Oz collection for quite a while, and I'm not sure exactly who shipped the first birds over here. I know a lot of them. I know they came into William Carl Foster. And then I know Michael Rose got his hands on some of them. But talk with Tamara Roselle or either her or Katie Galley. And Rebecca Lynch, she's really good at identifying. She's been breeding them, pretty regular. So check with her. But yeah, I'm the same way. I see them posted all the time on the Coturnix colors and genetics, and they're right over my head. Anita Garrett's in the house. Good morning, Anita. Glad you could join us. Says good morning, everyone. Oh, Obsidian says we've lost 7 our pastures raised Cornish cross because of our 100-degree temps. Our quail are doing fine so far. Yeah, that's a shame. The heat. Knock on wood, my Rhode Island Reds have been handling it. Like I say, I keep the door open on the coop so they can come and go as they please. But for the most part, during the heat of the day, they are inside the coop. Half of the coop has a dirt floor where they can kind of get in the dirt and, kick dirt on top of themselves and whatnot. But they won't even come out of the coop until either early in the morning or later in the evening. Yeah, Fat Country's saying contact her. She'll be able to help you. Yeah, absolutely. I read this morning, too, that, and I feel bad for her, Rebecca's emu ran off. I guess it got scared from the fireworks, and the thing ran off, and she's out looking for it now. Contacted the cops and hopefully animal control. And hopefully she'll find it, and get her back, or him back. Homesteads Matter says, outside we have a giant shop fan on ground level, smaller fans on the top level, constant water checks, and old plastic ice packs. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, for keeping your birds cool. I actually have a big, I want to say it's a 24-inch shop fan. I have been taking that fan outside with me and blowing it in my little work area where I'm working at, just to keep some some air movement, because it is hot out there. It's brutally hot. Oh, by the way, guys, Cookie had her puppies. Hey, good morning, Cookie. She had 4 little boys, all solid black boys. My sister is taking one of the boys. She's going to use him as a breeder. But, Cookie's puppies are 10 days old today, and they're doing really good, growing like weeds. Bob Cole's in the house. Says, good morning. Morning, Bob. Glad you could join us. David Bullock says, no guilt. Life happens. Thanks for the video compendium and the community. Thanks to the community for all the help. Yeah, that's what it's all about, guys. The Coturnix Corner Facebook group and the CoturnixCorner.com website is a great community. A lot of people in there, reaching out and helping each other. So I appreciate that. I've got to get to work when I've got some more time over on the Coturnix Corner community. There's a few software changes that I want to make over there, and just kind of keep things rolling again. I want to start pushing the Coturnix Kids program. We've got quite a few entries. I was looking through them last night. There are quite a few entries in there, so we're not running out. But I would like to see more kids get involved and get the opportunity to win some nice prizes. So, Bob says hottest month here is typically June. We've seen a high temp of 91 and grateful for that. Wow, 91, that's a nice day here. And I think our hottest month is like August and September. And that's also coincides with the peak of hurricane season. But like right now, we've been averaging mid 90s for the temperature, and then a heat index of triple digits, 110, 111, somewhere in there. It's been really warm. I can handle the heat. It's the humidity that kills me. I hate going out there and, I can take a shower and go outside and I'm sweating before I get to my truck. So, that's pretty bad. Let's see. Homestead Matter, talking to Obsidian, says, oh, sorry to hear that. It's been rough. Fingers crossed today and tomorrow don't increase them numbers. Yeah, it does stink. I mean, I'm sure birds have handled it, in the past, handled the heat, but all we can do is, provide them a little bit of shade, fresh water, and a breeze or whatever, and hope they make it through it. Okay, that brings us down to the bottom of the list. I do want to real quick give a shout out to our sponsors because they do a lot for our channel and haven't been live lately, so they haven't been getting the exposure. Hatching Time, Thieving Otter Farm, Gopher Ridge Quail Farm, and Bryant's Roost. Do me a favor, guys. Visit there. If you're looking for hatching eggs or supplies, visit Hatching Time and any of the breeders. They are excellent breeders. Like I say, they've got the top lines as far as I'm concerned in the U.S. Let's see where we at. Comical Homestead says, my 2.5-week-old quail are almost fully feathered. Looks like the majority of the 21 are female. Will the male colors show sooner or later? Yeah, it's going to be, you should start noticing, I'm talking if these are pharaohs, that reddish-orange coloration should start coming in anytime. You're still going to have some speckling on the chest, but if you notice that reddish-orange coming in behind the speckling, it's most likely going to be your males, and they will lose their speckles as they age. Usually around 3.5 to 4 weeks, you should be able to, get a pretty good accurate count on your different sexes. Bob Cole says, thankful for low humidity here, 15% now. Yeah, if it was 15% humidity here in Florida and 95 degrees, I could handle it all day long. But when I go outside and it's, 95 degrees and 99% humidity, oh my Lord, it's brutal. Daniel Dutton says, we've been averaging mid to upper 90s in New York lately too. Isn't that crazy? I mean, the whole U.S. is like under a big heat wave. Unbelievable. And Anita Garrett says the same thing. It's been over 100 degrees here. Forecast is for the same for the next 2 weeks. Wow. We're here. There are no losses yet, but the rabbits are really taking it hard. Yeah, I can imagine. As a matter of fact, I saw something over on, I think it was Facebook. Yeah, it was Facebook. Rebecca Lynch posted that if anybody's having issues with, ordering hatching eggs now, or they've already ordered hatching eggs, um, to get a hold of her if they want to put a pause on them eggs, due to weather concerns. Um, she can, change the ship date for you, and hopefully, get you the eggs, uh, when it's cooler. It's not that big of a deal hatching eggs during the heat of the year, but um, the heat during shipping is really hard on them. It's just unbelievably hard. See, David says your channel helped us make our decision to move forward with this journey. Cool. Um, yeah, I hear that a lot from people, and I think a lot of that is due to all the people that have contributed in Coturnix Corner. I mean, we've had a lot of great guests come on the show and share their knowledge and their information with people, and I think that's what kind of helped Coturnix get to the point where it's at. We are at we're going on 57,000 subscribers just on YouTube alone, and then I think we're close to that on Amazon, and on the CoturnixCorner.com channel, we're like 5,000 people in there already. So, yeah, it's doing great. But again, I do appreciate all the people that help out other members, all the people that write articles. And speaking of articles, that's what I want to tell you guys. We used to have a thing on. We still do. It's just kind of hidden right now. The Coturnix Corner Library. That's over on the CoturnixCorner.com community website. And it's been down for a while because that domain expired and I didn't realize it. So what I'm going to do is I went in there. The files are still there. So I am going to transfer them over to the CoturnixCorner.com community. That way you can still access all those files and videos and write-ups and whatnot. Because there's a lot of great information there, and I really hate to lose it. Daniel Dutton says, my Gopher Ridge quail just hatched out on the 28th and the 29th. They're looking great. Yeah, HP's got some really nice birds, especially if you're, looking towards jumbo varieties. He's got a lot of really, matter of fact, I'll be getting a hold of HP. I want to start my new line with some of his birds. Comical Homestead says, thank you. Fat Country says, Gopher Ridge is my go-to because they're closer to Florida. Most of the time I get them the next day. Absolutely, yeah. He's up in Georgia, so it's really nice to, place your order. He ships them, and a day later they're at your doorstep. So that works out. Homestead Matters says, questions. Anyone else get juveniles stuck in the rollout cage? We had some extra juveniles in a rollout. We fixed a grow-out pen. The bird was fine. Gave us some serious amusement. Yeah, I used to place grow-outs. If I ran out of grow-out cage space, I would put them in the egg rollout cages, and they seem to lay on their side and somehow get out from underneath there. What you can do, and that's what we did, at like Dollar General or Dollar Store, they sell those smaller pool noodles, I think they call them. The bigger ones are like 3.5 to 4 inches. They got smaller ones that are like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and I just cut them to fit, and this opening slides right up over the cage and keeps the birds from getting out. And then once they start laying eggs, you can pull them out, and the cage will work like it's supposed to. Fat Country says we've been getting rain daily. Yeah, Fat Country, I believe you're up in Tampa, aren't you? Yeah, we have too. We're in rainy season right now, and pretty much every day in the afternoon, we get rain, and that's the only thing that cools things down. The Coturnix Homestead Matter says the Coturnix communities have been so welcoming and helpful. The tide is turning to self-sufficiency. Absolutely. With what's going on, with the economy nowadays, and the price of food is just outrageous. Yeah, quail are a nice addition to to the line of meat. Daniel Dutton says, can't wait to check out the library. Yeah, there's already, if you go to CoturnixCorner.com, there's already a link at the top of the page in the nav bar, but that link it's basically a dead link. It doesn't go anywhere. I will try this week to download all those files. I got to download the files. I got to go in, do a little bit of scripting in the PHP script, and so it points to the right domain, and then I'll re-upload them, and it should be working okay. Ryan says, thanks, Terry, for all the great info. Absolutely. Talking to someone else. David Bullock says, do you have any plans to have Michael Rose on again? I do. And I believe he called me not too long ago. I think it was about a month ago he called me. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now. I don't want to say what that is, but it is, some major life-changing events for Michael and his family. So, he really right now doesn't have the time to do on the channel. But I do have a couple people, both are breeders, and they want to come on. One is going to introduce a new line that she's been working on. And I think you guys, it's actually a line that I worked on also, but she took over that line for me, and she is going to come on and introduce it. But I think that's not going to be until later on in the summer, early fall maybe, because she wants to make sure that she's got her breeding lines, her breeders ready to start shipping and whatnot, as far as hatching eggs go. So, but as far as having Michael on again, yeah, once Michael gets his family plans taken care of, yeah, I'll reach out to him again and bring him on the channel. So much stuff that Michael knows a lot about. If you guys are interested, he does have a educational course over on ccquail.com, and it's a paid course, but there is a ton of really good information in there. If you guys are serious about getting into quail and possibly doing it as a business, I would highly recommend checking that out. Michael's got a lot of great info on there. He explains it to where you can understand it. So yeah, check that out. Fat Country says, yes, sir, Tampa. I kind of thought so. Clifton Bucks in the house says, good morning, everyone from South Mississippi. And Don Skins in the house. Another one, good morning from South Mississippi. Glad you both could join us. Tim's in the house says, good morning from Mount Dora, Florida. Cool, another Floridian. Glad you could join us, Tim. There's Hannah Bishop. Haven't seen you around in a while. Good morning. I didn't see the notification come through until my alarm went off, so I missed 30 minutes. I kind of threw everybody off. I know it's normally a 9 o'clock live that we do, but I got some stuff that I got to get done outside today, and it's already starting to warm up, so I figured I'd give myself a half hour advance on my outside work. So. Daniel Dutton says, I'm going to make the breeder setups with the automatic waters you give the instructions for on your YouTube page as well. I'll just have to use more plywood to close them in from the wind a bit more. Yeah, if they're outside, definitely, have some way for them to get out of the wind. That's a good idea. Especially in the winter months. You don't want them getting chilled and getting sick. Obsidian says, I am now retired as of June 28th. So excited for more time with this community and learning more about quail. Cool. Congratulations on the retirement. I, too, retired this year. And it's funny. I retired, and I work more now than I did when I was working. It's crazy. Don Skin says, thanks again for selecting me to receive the Thieving Otter Farm hatching eggs. They arrived in perfect condition. Now we have some very nice birds to add to our flock. Cool. Congratulations again, Don, on that. And I'm glad that they made it to you, safely and got a good hatch rate and everything. Gina Klatz in the house says, hello. Glad you could join us, Gina. Wow. Ingiraka. I hope I didn't mess that up too bad. Hello from the other side of the world, Lithuania. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us. I wonder what time it is over there. It's got to be like nighttime probably, huh? Marina Frederick says, new to quail. Nephew sent me 58 eggs, hatched out 41 quail that will be 5 weeks old tomorrow. I'm learning lots. Cool. Congratulations. And welcome to the quail community. You're going to love it. It's one thing about Coturnix; they are very addictive. It's like you just got to keep incubating and hatching and on and on and on. I started out. I was only going. I only wanted to have like 20 or 30 birds just for meat and eggs, and I got up to a point at one time where I was up over 500 birds, or just at 500 birds, and they were all indoors on an enclosed carport, and we ended up having some issues. My wife's got COPD, so breathing issues with her. But I was even getting to where I would go out in the shop, and all the dust and dander it was affecting my lungs. I was coughing all the time, and I couldn't figure out why. And we decided that we were going to get rid of the birds altogether, not keep them indoors anymore, and see if that was a problem. And sure enough, as soon as I got rid of the birds, I cleaned out the shop. We went through and we removed all the old drywall, all the old insulation, redid everything, and no problems. I can work out there all day long now, and don't have any problems, with lung issues or whatever. So, David says, Terry, I just retired. Like you, work is more enjoyable at retirement. Yes, it is. At least the type of work you have to do, is more enjoyable. Instead of somebody telling you what to do, you get to just decide what you want to do. And it says incubating is addicting. Yes, it is. And can get expensive if you keep incubating and keeping birds and keeping birds. And I think Rebecca Lynch was telling me that her feed bill is more than her house mortgage, her home mortgage bill. I'm like, oh my Lord, don't need that. Home Says Matter says, oh, poodles sound like a great idea. I'll check that out. Yeah, and they're cheap too. Like I say, go to their dollar store. You can pick them up for $1 a piece, and they're real easy to cut to size so they fit. Otis says, I'm thinking of trying out Mern's quail. Yeah, they're pretty neat looking quail. I was actually looking at some of the other ones too, besides Coturnix. And then some of them were a little bit more expensive, so I don't want to go that route. But the Coturnix did so well, and they reproduced so quick. I thought this would be a good one, just to keep going with as far as for meat and eggs and selling birds. Tim says, how did you manage flies with the indoor setup? Any tips for flying management for the outdoor setups? Indoors, I never really had much of a problem, mainly because, one, I kept my manure trays clean all the time, and I have enough air circulation in there to where the manure that was in the trays would dry out, and once it dries out, there's no real smell to it, so the flies aren't attracted to it. But also, my shop was totally enclosed, and I kept the doors closed 99% of the time, so the flies really couldn't get in. And, I had exhaust fans in the windows and whatnot, but yeah, I never really had a problem with them indoors. As far as outside, the thing that I noticed on mine, I did have flies when I first put I had a 2-layer cage that had the bottom floor of the top cage sloped down so the manure would fall down behind the cage. I did have a fly problem with that early on, but once the black soldier fly got in there and started laying eggs, and I had black soldier fly larvae throughout the pile, they were eating up, I imagine they were eating up the fly eggs and or maggots faster than the flies could produce them. So I never really noticed that big of an issue outside once I got the black soldier flies in my manure piles. So yeah, that's the one thing, especially in the heat. If you don't have something to keep that manure turned, like black soldier fly larvae will, they'll keep, by burrowing through it, it keeps it turned. Or if you don't turn it, it's going to smell. Especially like down here in the summertime, we get rain all the time. It gets wet, and then it gets hot, and man, it really smells. And then it'll attract the flies. So, if you're in an area that has black soldier flies, I would, either wait for the wild ones to come in there and start laying eggs, or you can actually order them on. I've seen them on eBay. And I think I've seen them on Amazon also. You can actually order a black soldier fly and just introduce them to your manure pile. Let's see, I think that brings us down to the bottom of the list. Uh, I am going to go ahead and do a couple giveaways today for some hatching eggs and a $50 hatching time gift certificate. Let's see. Let's go with HP Murray hatching eggs. And Tim, we're going to give you some, Tim W. We're going to give you some hatching eggs from Gopher Ridge, HP Murray's operation. So, Tim, if you want to send me your shipping address to Terry at coturnixcorner.com, I'll put that in the comments section right now. Send me your shipping information. I obviously need a good address, but I also need a good email and a good phone number. And I will get that sent over to HP, and he will get your eggs out immediately. And Homestead Matters, you're going to get a $50 gift certificate. And same for you. If you can send me, for you, actually, all I need is a name and an email address. I don't need shipping information on you, because what they'll do, Hatching Time will send you an email with the gift certificate. So that's our giveaways for today. I'm going to rotate every week through the sponsors, and yeah, we'll give one. Well, actually, we'll give two a break, and then only one has to ship out during the week. And I don't know how they're doing right now as far as shipping with the heat and everything. Ingiraka says, I just got my first 8 quails a week ago. One of them is not doing great, though straight from the breeder. It was walking wobbly and already had calloused from laying on the feet. Yeah, watch them on the feet. I'm not saying that it is bumblefoot. It could be. Just keep a close eye on it. If they're actually having problems walking on it, it could be they get a manure burn on their feet that can look a lot like bumblefoot. You're going to need to treat it. Get that bird off the wire if it's on a wire cage. Get it off the wire. Wash and disinfect the foot, the injury, and then maybe coat it with something like I was using like a vitamin D ointment. I would put a little bit of that on there. Also, soaking it in Epsom salt solution. Take some Epsom salt and water, and let the bird stand in that for a little bit. That'll kind of help clean that out a little bit before you put some ointment on it. Says, okay, I did not notice it in the box when I got them. When I got them in the box a few days ago, she stopped walking completely, plops on the side and waddles her feet, but can't get up. Eats and drinks really well. Poop is fine. Otherwise, would be a healthy bird. Preens is super active. Otherwise, not lethargic at all. What shall I do? I'm not ready to call. Yeah, like I said, if it is an issue with either bumblefoot or manure burns on the feet, try what I said, but definitely keep the bird off wire. The wire is just going to aggravate it and make it worse. If you can, maybe put her on some pine shavings or some other type of substrate that's going to allow her to, at least sit up with her feet underneath her, and hopefully it'll heal up and she'll be able to get up and move around. David Bullock says, congratulations, winner. Gina says, congratulations, Brittany. Absolutely. congratulations again to Brittany Peacock for the Coturnix Kids entry. Really appreciate that. Obsidian says congratulations to Tim and Homestead Matters. Samantha Stratton says YouTube didn't notice me or didn't notify me. I'm late, but I'm here. Yeah, that was kind of my fault, Samantha. I actually went live early at 8:30. Yeah, I apologize for that. And it's funny, I'm already running a little bit later than I wanted to, but that's okay. David Bullock, do you have any experience with stellar game birds? I've heard of them. I know nothing about them. I will say that it seems to me, and I don't want to say for sure because I feel really bad if they're not, but I believe they were listed as a spammer. So I don't know. I'm not saying they are, but just check them out, and be very careful. But as far as, have I heard of them or know anything about the birds? No, not at all. Anita says we are building a new infrastructure to have all our quail outside. Even with the building being specifically wired for airflow, it was hard to work. I know exactly how you feel, Anita. I think our buildings were about the same size. I think yours might have been a little bit wider. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So, and when you get it built, send me some pictures. I'd like to see it. And David says, congrats to the winner. Dane Paget's in the house. Good morning from Georgia. Glad you could join us, Dane. We are fixing to pull the plug on it, but I'm glad you could get in there anyhow and join us for the day. Okay, we are down to the bottom of our list, guys. I am going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one so I can get outside before it gets, too brutally hot out there. I gotta go spray the stucco down with water. It dries out really fast, and if you don't keep it, if you don't spray it down at least a couple times a day, it'll end up cracking on you. So I got to go do that, and then I got birds to take care of and bees to take care of and that kind of nonsense. So, guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me. Again, I apologize for not being around for the past almost month now, but hopefully we can get that straightened out. And, I appreciate you guys, understanding that, stuff around the house takes precedence over the channel and the live stream. So, again, congratulations to our winner. Congratulations to Brittany Peacock for winning. And Tim, again, don't forget to send me your informations. And same with Homestead Matters. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Stay cool. Keep your birds cool. And hopefully everything goes right. We'll see you next week.